Here we go. Okay, team call, all about vision. I'm going to get us started. Hopefully Sam will hop on at the end and we can chat with her a little bit, and I'll tell you why I kind of wanted to chat with her. But the biggest part is when we know what we're shooting for and we have a why and a big enough dream and vision, we can create the life that we want. And one of the things that inspired me about Sam is that I saw in her stories, she has a dream of having a cabin at Bear Lake. And I have a dream of having a cabin in Payette Lake in McCall. So that totally tugged at my heart. But I saw one of the things that she was doing is she was going to Zillow and looking at cabins at Bear Lake, like that she was in the process of looking, like just not present tense, but pretty much present tense, which one she wanted, that kind of thing. And then there was another thing she had gone to her mom's house, I think it was, and got some furniture for her cabin at Bear Lake, like already planning this cabin that she was going to have. And I just thought that was super powerful to me and such an inspiration to me that as we are forward thinking, we are stepping into our vision and our dreams and making it happen. And I totally have felt that in my own life. So that's why I wanted her to kind of talk about that. But I'll kind of talk about some of the things that have helped me and then go through a couple exercises that we can do to kind of map out our vision. And when we get off the call or this weekend, we can write things down and actually plan it out. One of the things that when you guys jump on, one of the things that I really liked is Rachel Hollis's Start Today journal. I started doing this back in 2019, and I started writing really big, scary goals. At the top, she has what you're grateful for, 10 dreams that you made happen, and the goal you're working on right now first. So she has to be working on one goal at a time. And I love that she built in gratitude because that's super helpful. And I may have to mute everyone. I don't even know how to do that. Okay, I think I got it. It's because when we're in a space of gratitude, we're like, that's what grows. And so some of the things that I wrote in here on my 10 dreams, like I've seen them come to fruition. And when I was writing them, I didn't know the how. You guys, we don't have to know the how. We just put it on paper and we continually act upon it and act upon it. One of the other things when I was listening to Micah's podcast, I had you guys go through hers. It was number 10, and it's just like 20 minutes long. But there were 2 questions she asked in there, and I thought they were really powerful. If I want to make more money or more income, what am I going to do with more income? And she talked about how when we know how, like, it's not selfish to want more money, but when we know how we're going to bless not only our life or other people's lives by that income, that's something we can get a hold of. And so think about that question and write some things that come to mind as you think about that. How would you bless your family? How would you bless your, the charities that you can give to? I have one charity I think of. My dad suffers from diabetes and cancer, and I want to research and find a charity that I can give to that. How would it bless my family's life? Memories. I am like a memory maker junkie. And so one of those things is traveling and creating these memories with my family. And the second question she had on the podcast was, when in my life do I feel the most joyful? And when you think about that, like what brings you joy? And those are the things that you want to include in your vision, because those are the things that are going to light you up, get you out of bed to do the vital behaviors when you don't feel like it. So I really liked that. So I jotted down some things. Time freedom was one of them, having a cabin at the lake with my family, and girls trips and having retreats. Those are some of the things that came to mind that really bring me joy, that I thought of. And one of the things, part of a vision and part of creating this life that we want is one of the things that I heard on there that she talked about was we are either growing or dying. We are on earth to grow. And when I think about building our teams, when I think about building our income, on the process of that is growing as a human. And that's not selfish at all. That is literally being faithful, why we are here on earth is to grow. And that means in all aspects of life. And I feel like when we shine our light, we give other people permission to shine their light and to shine brighter. So that is so cool what we get to do every day as coaches. Okay, so let's dive into a couple of the nitty gritty things. This is the book that you guys probably have heard of it. Maybe some of you have it, but and I've gone over it before, but I just love the structure of this and how to actually write out your vision and to dive into it. So one of the things that she has you do, and maybe I'll have you guys do this on the call if you have a pen and paper, and to write down 2 or 3 things so that you can have this on your mind. Contrast and clarity exercise. So what is something today that you don't like in your life right now? We're going to write down 2 things that you currently don't like in your life and that's causing you friction or just like, or just feeling stuck. What are 2 things? I'll give you like 30 seconds. Okay, so 2 of the things that I wrote down is I work full time for someone else's dream. And then the next one, these are like random. I have student loan debt, or my husband does. And obviously one of those has been created. I wrote these down last year in June, in May or June. And obviously that's come to fruition. I didn't know how, but I knew that if I continued to build belief and to take action, it would happen. And then the other part of this, you wrote down 2 things or maybe 1 thing. I want you to think of a clarity statement. So what is something that's empowering to make you overcome that yucky to feel like, so one of the things, the verbiage, we want to change the verbiage. So one of the things you could say, I love knowing that blank, or I have no doubt blank. It excites me to blank. So think of 2 things. You wrote the contrasting one, the one that makes you feel stuck, and then rewrite that into something else. So this is mine, and then I'll give you 30 seconds to write yours. I have no doubt this is my last year of working for someone else. Like, you guys, I'm getting chills. Like, I can't believe, like, that's like crazy. Okay. The second one, when I said I have student loan debt, I said, it excites me to see us paying double on our car loans. Well, I didn't write it about student debt, but I put car loans, and we actually did pay off our van last year. So, anyway, so I'll give you like 30 seconds to write those clarity statements. I love how it feels when. It excites me too. I love seeing, like, I can already feel positive energy as I say those things. That's super cool.
Will you say them again?
Some of the clarity statements, like how they start. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love knowing that. It feels good to know that. I am in the process of, I love that word process because that means it's happening. It excites me too. I love seeing, I have no doubt. And you can write these later too. Those clarity statements are really important though, like just to get you started with the last half of it. Okay, so as you're moving into your vision, this is where it gets super fun, you guys, because we literally get to write out our future. Like, and it, like, looking back on my future before I found coaching, I'm like, why was I settling? Like, why was I not dreaming more? Why was I like, no, that's for someone else. That's not for debt. Like, I'm okay. Like, we're okay getting by paycheck to paycheck. It's fine. It's okay to have debt. Everyone has credit card debt. No, we can live so much better. And it all starts with work. We have to do the work internally, externally, all the things. And so through this vision exercise, I'll talk about a couple of categories and you can start writing out things for that. But I wanted to read this first. Remember, when you focus on the why, the how shows up. Remember when I said you don't have to know the how? Because you're focusing on the why. Sure, there are plenty of days where I don't want to do the work, but I know the cost if I don't do the work. It's my future. It's my family's future and the future of all the people out there that I help. You have to get over your darn self sometimes to know that there is a calling in your life. It's not just about you. Get out there and serve. Doesn't that just give you chills? Like, that is coaching in a nutshell. Like, if that doesn't light you up, I don't know what does. So it goes through exercise, and I can do some screenshots and share them in our group thread for like my team and my coaches and stuff. And you guys can pass it on to your teams and coaches, but it goes through an exercise of just a couple categories. So write these down. Your first one is your job. What are you doing in your job? This is where you're creating your future. You're writing it out in paragraphs by each of these categories and living in the future. And think like 2 to 5 years. Sometimes I like to do 2 to 3 years. Some people like to do 5 years. But what does your job look like? How many hours are you working? Where are you working? Who do you work with? Who are you surrounded with? Do you have a team? What are they doing? So super cool. So that's the first one. The second category is your finances. 2, 3, 5 years. Where are your finances? What's your annual income? Do you get bonuses? How much are you saving? How much are you investing? One of the things that we want to do, and it's in my vision, is we want to do investment in rental properties and like have that be another source of income when we get older, is having real estate. Your home. This is the next category, your home. What does it look like? Where is it at? Is it by the ocean? Is it in the mountains? Is there a guest house? Is there a horse? Is there a pool? Are you making memories in your pool? One of the things in our house really important to us is we want to have a guest suite for my parents, Kevin's parents downstairs. They don't have to go upstairs, and have that for them. So that's part of my vision, visualizing that room, their guest bathroom, all of those things, a little nook where they can read, and a chair, like get detailed. The next category is your relationships. This one's super fun. Are you single? Are you married? What does your relationship look like with your significant other? Do you have weekly date nights? Do you have a passionate relationship? What about your immediate family? Do you have family dinners? Do you laugh together? Do you play games? Like visualize that. One of those is working on our marriage, having weekly date nights. And one of them now is like, okay, not only date nights, but something exciting. Like we've gotten in a good groove of like Sam's Club and dinner. That's not fun. I mean, we're together, but something more. And in mine, it says like a passionate relationship, like just dream big. What do you want for your future? Okay, another one is your body. You guys, how do you feel in your body? Is your body strong? Is it energetic? Is it rested? Is it flexible? Is it thin? Is it sexy? Is it muscular? How do you show up for your workouts? One of mine says something to the extent of my nutrition, and my fridge is full of healthy whole foods, and I'm visualizing like vegetables and fruits and LaCroix. Like that seems silly, but like I want to have a healthy, lean, strong body. And so that's what I'm visualizing. The last one is free time and community. How are you serving? What are you doing in your free time? Do you have hobbies? Are you doing those hobbies? Don't take an 18-mile hike. No, I'm just kidding. How often do you participate in them? Do you play an instrument? Do you travel? What do you do for fun? What luxuries do you enjoy? This is like thinking outside the box. Before you were Rebecca, before you were Madison, or no, before you were mom, you were Rebecca, you were Madison. Before you were a wife, like think of what you did before you were married. Maybe some of those things want to come to fruition. Like when I saw Rebecca roller skating, I loved roller skating when I was a teenager. Like it lit me up. My husband doesn't go, but I'll go and I'll drag the boys along. But who were you before family and all of the things that take up our time? And we forget sometimes who we were before all of that. And being a mother is great. Being a wife is amazing, but we can't pour from an empty cup. I love that. Madison volleyball is so awesome. Okay, so that's the exercise, and those are the categories. And then you just break them up I just kind of just float it, but you can break them up in paragraphs. And then I actually did this with all of them. And then I actually invested in an app on my phone called ThinkUp. I know some of you guys have it, but you can record yourself talking your vision and then listen to it every morning, every night, however many times you want to. The more you listen to it, the more detailed you listen to it. Obviously, you're going to like your brain. Someone once said your brain doesn't know reality versus like not reality. And so as we're creating this, like our brain's like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Becca has done that with her kids too. It's amazing. And you can have, that's what you're saying, they can't see, but you can have your kids do it. Like how awesome, like having your kids say, my mom is a top 10 elite coach, like whatever it is. My mom built our dream home with her Beachbody money, like whatever that is, like having your kids say that, how powerful is that? So anyway, that was kind of a rundown. Maybe we'll open it up for like questions or things that you guys are struggling with your vision, or where to start, or good resources. I know Madison and Rebecca, if you want to chime in and say, some of the things that have helped you, we can totally do that. So just unmute if you have anything, or put it in the chat.
Yeah, I wanted to say I don't have the Think Up app, but I did one day I just was like, I just need to record this so that I can start listening to it every morning and get that going. So I typed it out in just a Google document, like in my Google Drive, whatever. And so I have it on my phone. And so what I did was I dropped down from the top, and how you can do like a screen recording and you can use audio or not use audio. I used audio, and I just scrolled through it and was reading my vision and all those sections. What I did was a day in the life, how I want my day to look, like the mundane day. I just say, I wake up at this time, I hear this, I see this, I do this, I feel this, and I do the day in the life. And then I do all the little categories that Micah had in her vision podcast. And so I just go through those little sparks of joy and family and finances, all that. But I just recorded it. And so it's just in my gallery under screen recordings. And that's how I listen. I've listened to mine every morning, but I have added a lot to mine, and I've fulfilled a lot on mine too. So I need to go through and reread my vision, because it is so powerful. I've been doing it most of this year. It is so powerful to listen to, because you don't sit down and you don't read 3 pages of your vision every day. You just don't do it. But I can plug it in, and as I'm peeing and weighing myself and putting my workout clothes on and getting my mommy juice ready, I 13 minutes, and I'm okay, doing my morning routine now, and I listen to my vision, and it is so powerful. I find myself doing things throughout the day now that I'm oh my gosh, that's part of my vision I listened to today, cleaning up the house and having it clean as I walk down the stairs to go make it's that's what I did this morning. It was all clean because I took care of my home and cleaned it last night. And so I walked in the living room and the kitchen this morning, and it was all clean. And then I made my mommy juice, and it's my favorite thing on the planet. And it's so cool. It's weird how it works, but it's cool. So just do it.
Yes. Don't get off this call and not do anything. Do something. And even if it's a paragraph or a category a week, jot it down. And I would highly suggest in the morning time, when you do your morning routine, to do that, because late at night, I just know my brain doesn't have the capacity to do it. So do it in the morning when you feel your best. Do one category at a time and just kind of chuck away at it. Anyone else? Any questions or ideas or thoughts?
One more thing. I just challenged my girls the beginning of this year to take literally set a timer for 5 minutes during your morning routine and just write for that 5 minutes. And it's just 5 minutes a day. And soon enough, you'll have your whole vision written out. And it's so simple. Just do 5 minutes a day. Don't feel like you have to do the whole thing in one day, but just slowly over time.
I love that. One of mine was, I just jotted down things and feelings and sounds and everything. I just literally have a list, and then I'll go in detail after with that list. I don't know where I wrote it. Anything else? Oh yeah, I did write it down. Nobody has any other questions or anything?
Deb, can I say something really fast?
Oh, yes. Hey.
Hey. So I just had a cool vision moment this week. So I've been listening to my vision. And then our vision is we want to buy a big plot of land and then build our big farm on. And my mother-in-law this week, she has a little piece of land. Sorry. Hey, it's okay. Oh, sorry, guys. And she, I know. It's okay. It's okay. Someone else go. I'll pop back on in just a minute.
We totally understand. Mom life right there.
I just think it's so cool. I have so much room for improvement to like do this stuff. And I think what's held me back from like, I don't know, at times I just feel like, oh, well, it's not like I second guess myself or like hold myself back. Or think, well, it's nothing glorious. Like I just want simple things, you know, but it is those simple things that make an impact. Like Madison said, just like having a clean house and visualizing the peace in the home and how your relationships, how you want your relationships to feel and those things. And so anyways, if you're in a spot where you're like, you know, starting this process, it's new and it's exciting, but just like follow your energy and let that guide you. Because that's really where your truth is, you know. It's not like, oh, well, other people want a cabin or other, you know, so maybe my vision isn't that grand or what, you know, just do what brings you energy. Like think about that, visualize that.
That's why I love that question. What brings you joy? And then just brain dump. Just like it can be one word, it can be a sentence, whatever. You ready, Jesse?
Yes, I'm ready. Sorry, guys, that escalated quickly. I just don't know what happened there.
Have you seen that reel?
Anyways.
That escalated quickly.
Right, that's what I was thinking of. I was like, wow, that escalated very quickly. But anyways, my vision moment. So you guys, I was a little skeptical of this vision stuff. I just was like, okay, whatever. It's kind of woo. But then I really started doing it, and sorry, whoever was just talking before, but the energy that you get from listening to your vision, for one, it gives me so much bravery to invite and to do kind of the scary entrepreneur things. It gives me bravery because it just lights me up and I hear that vision. But my vision experience from this week, like I said, we want to buy a big farm and build our dream house on. That's in my dream and in my vision. And my mother-in-law says, hey, I have this little plot of land. I mean, I wouldn't sell it for very much to you guys. I'd want to give you guys a deal and you guys can start building here. And the old Jesse would have been like, oh, yeah, I mean, that would be quick. And if we'd save money and we'd get in a house and all that. And then I was like, no, I am not settling. We are getting that farm with our dream house on it. We're not settling for less. And it was just a really cool moment when like Deb said, my brain was like, that's not our reality. That just doesn't feel right. Whereas the old Jesse would have settled for that and been like, whatever, we don't need that much. We don't need that great of a house, you know? So anyways, that's my vision moment. It was really powerful and I just love it. So back to you.
I love that. And seriously, I think we've all been there. Like, it's okay. We're good where we're at. But then because she's been doing the work on her vision, she's like, no, this is what I want. And I'm going to go after it. So I have no doubt you'll make it happen. And I'm going to come to the farm. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay. Anyone else? We got like 6 minutes left. Does anyone have anything on their heart or anything?
Oh, I thought I'd relay a little Sam, wisdom from Elevate, the summit in Florida. She just was on that panel with some of the new and upcoming leaders, and the question was like, what do you do when it gets hard to, something along the lines of when it gets hard to show up and do the things that you need to do. And she said something like, I think what I remember from it is that she had a sticky note or something. She's like, I first of all, you follow the Success Club tracker, but it's the vision that fuels the actions, and we talk about that. But she's like, I want a cabin at Bear Lake. So I do the things because that's what I want. And it was just so cut and dry. Like when you have that target of what you're working toward, it just brings clarity to all the in-between stuff, that when it's hard, you just like, you want that thing, that vision, that dream so much that it's like, oh, there's a little phrase, but I can't remember it. Something like, basically when things get hard, you have to want what you're working for harder or something. I mean, just that's what fuels you. And I loved that thought that she said.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to look different for all of us, and that's okay. But go with like what's on your heart. Just to wrap it up, I just want to read this other part in the vision exercise. It says, ask yourself if you're committed to your goals or just interested in them. Okay, that's a gut check. Are you committed or just interested? There's a huge difference. When you're interested, you'll do the work when it feels good and when it's convenient for you. When you're committed, you'll show up every day, no matter what. Keep in mind, consistency will trump greatness every day of the week. We know we have to show up every day to make big things happen. Vision will make you do that. Success doesn't come to those who want it. It comes to those who do it. We have to, hashtag Michael Folsom, do our crap. And when we know why, and we know what it will do if we don't show up and who it's gonna like impact, our families, our futures, then that'll be the catalyst to do it every single day, no matter what. And when you have that vision clear in your mind. So this was so good. I'm so bummed Sam was on here, but hey, helps me step up as a leader. So always be prepared. But I seriously love all of you. I'm so grateful that coaching is part of our life and we get to share it with each of us and encourage each other, empower each other, and support each other. And it's just been awesome seeing all of you guys grow and improve and become the best version of yourself. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hopping on. You guys are the best. And we'll close it out. I feel like we should say a prayer or something. We won't. Amen. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Okay,
Hallelujah,
guys,
praise.
thanks, Deb.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
Deb.
hopping on. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I didn't get any pictures. Don't leave. I'll just do
I
it.
recorded a little.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're good.
Thanks,
See
Deb.
ya.
You'll have to let
I'll
us know
send out
if
the
she reschedules.
Okay, and I'll send out the recording too, so you can share with your teams. Okay, see ya.
Yeah, bye-bye.